Whereas the majors now are the dinosaurs, and they're dying out.
Right.
That's the case.
Well, I think, what I think I hear you saying is we talk about this all the time, is like the underground scene, especially for metal, is what keeps everything alive. I mean, it's the kids that are coming out and, you know, going to the small clubs that are buying the merch, because I know that's what keeps you guys on the roads, buying merch, buying CDs, that type of thing. So we've always...
I mean, dude, look at even our label mates, Suicide Silence. I mean, dude, look what they sold the first week. Are you kidding me? For a band that heavy? Another example, like Job for a Cowboy, dude. They came out of nowhere.
Right.
So
right.
I agree with you that the underground scene is kind of...
That's
and
the
we're
true
not
test.
yeah.
Nowadays, I think that if you have a grassroots following, downloading doesn't matter.
Right.
The people are going to be there. Mm-hmm. Downloading destroyed all the superficial stuff, and now the real shit is living up to its name, you know?
Well, we have, I'm not going to name the station, there's a station in this area, a radio station, who, you know, tried for a while. We had a metal show on. It was like every Friday night, and they canned it. And so I called this guy who ran it, and I was like, look, you know, why'd you guys take this off? And he was trying to tell me that every time they played this show, they would lose 500,000 listeners, okay, which I kind of find, you know, whether or not that's true, whatever. But there's so many people. Look at the tours like Ozfest, when Korn has Family Values, the new Mayhem tour that's coming up with Slipknot this year.
That'll be nice.
There's so many fans that love this music, so it's like the radio just keeps spitting out the same garbage over and over and over, and it's like bands like I said, you guys, the style of music that you guys make should be plastered on the radio, because to me, I mean, not that it's cheesy or watered down, but it's good stuff. So do you think that radio is hurting you guys? Not your band specifically, but rock bands that are coming out now, because there's like little airplay from any kind of radio stations.
I think
tough one.
I think what's happening now on radio, generally speaking, is giving radio a bad name because it is watered down. Like the kids who want the real shit are turned off by radio, and then anyone who does get a chance at radio who is legit doesn't get that real fan as a listener on a wide range. That's what I'm saying.
Then you have other examples like friends of ours, like from Avenged Sevenfold. You know what I mean? Like without radio, City of Evil wouldn't have sold 900,000 copies. Or
right.
SoundScan that many. So it works for some bands and it doesn't work for others, and that's kind of the disheartening part. It's like you're rolling the dice to see if it is going to work.
But that's another band who already had a grassroots following. Radio came to them.
True.
They never went to radio.
True.
Slipknot, same thing.
True.
And they're still living strong, you know.
True. Exactly.
All right. One of the questions that I ask, and I'll tell you about this later after the interview's over, that I always like to ask, your name, LB from NASA's, which we talked about earlier. That was a quote from Karl Marx about religion. One of the things I like to ask the bands, how do you feel, your personal opinions on bands within the hard rock, metal genre that sing about spirituality, spiritual things, whether it be God or Buddha or whoever? Do you think that has a place in rock and roll? Do you think it has a place in metal? Or should that just be left to the churches or whatever?
You know what? I think it's artistic expression, but
You go and then I'll go.
yeah, go, yeah.
I'm brewing.
Two schools of thought.
Okay.
No, I think it has its place, and I don't know. I haven't really spent a lot of time thinking about that kind of thing, because if it doesn't rub me the right way, I ignore it. This guy will fester on that stuff, though.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, okay, here's the deal. I agree with Ronnie in the sense that music, of course, is an expression. It's what you feel inside your heart, like what you want to portray to people, and it's a release. It's an amazing thing. whatever people want to sing about. I mean, I would never sit back and say, well, you should sing about this or you shouldn't sing about that or whatever. And there are some great bands out there who happen to be Christian. I don't care for them just because that's my personal opinion that maybe doesn't reflect the rest of my band. But my personal opinion is that, 99.9% of the world's problems are a direct result of organized religion. That's my personal opinion. And all the way from, it doesn't matter if it's Christianity, Islam, Judaism, to me it's all the same. It's like cancer. It's like, at the end of the day, it's going to kill everybody. And again, that's just my personal opinion. So it's kind of tough when you're on tour with bands like that, When we did Warped Tour in 05, getting invited to Bible study every day was getting
right.
That was getting irritating.
But what was funny
and I love Under Oath, dude. They're a great band, but hey, amazing drummer, dude.
With those guys, like
Aaron, amazing drummer, dude. And we could sit and talk drums, but as soon as he started coming at me with that thing, I'm like,
how funny is that?
He's like, yeah, but aren't you worried about when this and that, and aren't you worried about, what happens when you die and this and that, and what happens at the end of the day? I'm like, you know what? And I had remembered something that Dimebag told me a long time ago. He's like, he had told some Christian dude out in front of a show that was preaching at him or whatever and yelling and screaming. He's like, it's all about dying, isn't it? Don looked at the guy. He's like, it's all about dying. How come it's never about living? It's never about having a good time, growing down, expressing yourself and doing your thing. Why is it always about dying? And just a negative.
That's amazing.
Why it always has a negative connotation to it. And so that's just me.
I never heard that.
Organized religion rubs me the wrong way, but again, that's my own personal.
So I guess we'll never see you, going out and buying some Mazalay Dine records or Under Oath stuff.
Amazing bands. I love those bands. They're amazing players. I would never, I would never talk shit about any band.
Right.
If they're out there and they're successful and they're kicking ass and taking names, I'm with that. You know what I mean? On any level. You know what I mean? Hell, I'll go watch Britney Spears. The drummer's amazing. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just one of those things. It's like, it's just a personal thing as far as the religion thing goes.
Okay.
Pause it up.
Okay.
That's cool. I mean, since we have our honesty hats on.
All right, cool. That's good. That's what we're looking for. So what's next for you guys on the road this summer? You guys going to be touring any festivals, any tours this fall?
Talk about that. Let's talk about it if it doesn't happen. I mean,
basically we have we're going to finish this tour with Filter and
as he comes through.
Here he comes.
Come on, man.
We got like another 6.5, 7 weeks on this tour. Ours, the direct support band that's on this right now, have another 2 shows with us, and then some good friends of ours in the band 10 Years are going to be out. Following that, we have about a week, 10 days of headliner stuff with us, and then the Grindco tour is what we're looking forward to next, which is Seven Dust, Drowning Pool, us, Nonpoint.
It's going to be a good tour. When does that start?
All good friends, too, because I grew up in Dallas, Texas with all the Drowning Pool guys.
Right.
And then Dave Williams and I lived next door to each other for years, Dated 2 sisters that were strippers is funny. It's a long story. But Drowning Pool's definitely a family. And, the guys in Seven Dust have always been just so amazing to us. And, it's really cool.
With them, Seven Dust, man, I mean, they're always one of those bands that's always been a great band, but for some reason, they should have been up like in the stratosphere with their music, man. I just never could figure out why they didn't take off so. I mean, they've got their loyal following, but it's just like their records they always like stall when they should be up here. I can never figure that out.
I love that band. I mean, of course, it's like Morgan and I have very similar playing styles, in the vein of Shannon Larkin, Jamie Miller, Roy Mayorga kind of vibe. But as a band, as songwriters, dude, they're one of my favorite bands.
Yeah.
Amazing people, really cool people.
Come on in, brother.
Sorry, dude.
No, you're all right, man.
Shower,
This is
taking the balls off,
Taking the balls off.
I'm gonna dip my balls in it.
All right, so out of you two guys, since you guys are here, who would have made the best 80s metal glam band guy?
This guy definitely.
80s metal glam band?
Who's the